I will show you these 7 big mistakes that everyone still makes in Rome 2, and we're starting straight away with running away from a lighter unit. So everyone knows that once you're running away, when your unit is in combat, your unit will die off, but that's not always the case actually. Let's say you're fighting a heavy unit and you have a medium or a light unit with these symbols. You can run away from it and take minimal losses like 10 or 15 units. If you're running away from the unit with the same symbol, it will get followed and destroyed. And when you're running away, your unit has 0 melee defense, so it will get slaughtered. So never do that, please, just listen to me. And also never do this with cavalry. And this knowledge can be really useful when you're trying to fall back from a position. So let's say I have a heavy unit fighting there versus another heavy unit, and my goal is to save that unit for late game. Then you got to throw in a light or medium unit, so my heavy unit can safely run away. And after that, I retreat the light unit, and it will still get away from the front line with minimal losses. And this way you save both units actually without sacrificing anything, and this will save you extra units for your next fallback position. Now mistake number 3 is very sneaky. I don't think a lot of you guys know this, and that has to do with abilities and charge bonus. And just so you know, this is massive if you do this wrong. So first, do me a favor, like the video so this can spread to more people. And that brings us right back to when you're charging a unit and you think it's smart to pop an ability right after, you should throw that mentality away. You should never do that ever again. I will tell you why. So when you pop your ability, all the soldiers in that unit will stop with their attack, etc. And their charge bonus will basically go away. So the trick is pop your ability like headhunt and the whip before you charge the unit, because it always takes like 2 to 3 seconds before the ability actually works. And you want your ability already active before the charge, because then your stats will be crazy high and everything you touch will basically die instantly with the charge bonus and the ability, especially with battle rhythm on top of that, which is a very strong combo. So never pop your ability after the charge. Now next up we got a bonus trick which I recently discovered, which has nothing to do with the video, but it's pretty funny. And that is, if you're playing a siege and you and your teammate both ride a scorpion, if your teammate's scorpion dies off, all the crew dies, you can equip both scorpions with your scorpion crew, and you can basically command 8 turrets to shoot, which is pretty funny, and you should try it out in your next battle. Mistake number 5. This can confuse a lot of especially new people that don't have a lot of experience, and that has to do with using camels. So if you click on your camel unit, it will tell you that it has cavalry scare tactics, and then a lot of people think camels counter cavalry, right? Because it scares them away, etc. Well, I can tell you one thing, it doesn't really work like that. Most of the times cavalry are much stronger versus camels, so then you will think, what are camels good at? And that is fighting infantry. The camel units have a crazy mass which will run through infantry like it's nothing. That counts for the camel cataphracts, but also for the cheap camels that cost only 420, or just cheaper than the cataphracts. They just have a crazy mass, and that's the big mistake. Use camels to fight infantry, not cavalry. Now mistake number 6 is very important when you're fighting on the walls and around the wall. That is spamming movement orders. So when you're on the wall and you want your unit to go a certain type of direction, your unit will first do a 360. So it will first run the other direction for 2 seconds and then it will turn around. But also don't spend movement orders at the breaches. So if you made a breach with your tortoise or artillery and you're fighting at the breach but you decide to fall back because it isn't going well for you, give only 1 movement order, because it will also do a 360. But when that happens, don't spam the movement orders. Just do 1 every 5 seconds and then it should be all fine, especially with cavalry. Now mistake number 6, which is pretty straightforward, but still a ton of people do it, and that is fighting losing engagement. Why would you send a unit that's weaker than your enemy unit to just die and lose? It doesn't make sense. Always try and find a unit in your army that will win that engagement. And then you might think, well, what do I do with my cheaper units? Well, use them how they should be used, and that is as cannon fodder. So don't throw away cheap units. Use them to soak pila, to soak charges for your other units, so they can fight better engagement. And this trick is also very important for when you select your army. Don't bring a ton of trash. You know that they will do nothing unless you have a brilliant plan with them. Bring quality units that can actually win battles, and they don't have to be very strong in all the stats, but have a plan with every unit. If you decide to bring a unit that has a very high charge bonus but is weaker in prolonged combat, well, combine that with a cheaper unit, so you can psycho charge with the cheaper unit and you can get the maximum potential out of it. And the game will tell you if you're fighting a losing engagement. It's trying to help you, it's trying to tell you, but a lot of people ignore it, so take this as your reminder. The next trick most of you guys know, and is a fast one, but I got to make sure everyone knows this, and that is breaking walls next to each other with a tortoise. So you guys should already know this. So when you're breaking 2 parts of a wall next to each other with a tortoise at the same time, the the other tortoise will glitch out and stop breaking the wall. And this will hurt you to get through the walls, of course. And this is very bad for your attack, so everyone must know this. And mistake number 7 is all about fatigue. I won't go in too deep about this because I explained this and all the details in this video. But a ton of people don't know how bad it is to fight exhausted or just winded. The debuffs can get up to 50% penalties. So it's so important to check during the battle how exhausted your units are. And make sure your general is a strategist general with the second wind ability. It will help you out a ton.